I'm just beginning to understand collective will. Some of my conclusions are inaccurate. For instance, the assertion that there is no such thing as collective will, but only many individual wills. Then again, Archangel Michael seems to use the phrase differently here than I have. I use it to mean collective agreement to proceed with a matter, and AM seems to use it as a force which brings about change. The difference would be to use an example between a football team agreeing on the next play and the whole team pushing against the other team once the ball is in play. I imagine both are aspects of collective will. But I don't know. The subject is one I'll continue to explore, for my own learning as much as what it may contribute in a more general way. Thanks to Dana for our transcript. Steve, am I correct in my line of reasoning that there is no real thing as collective will as a thing outside of individuals, but it's really many individuals developing the will? Is that correct? There is collective consciousness. There is collective consciousness, and there is and is not. I'm going to confuse you. Collective will. Now let us think about this. Collective will does not live somewhere off planet on Sirius or in the Pleiadian sector. It is a tangible energy field, but how is it known? It is known through the expression and the claiming, the activation of individual will. This is going to be a topic that you are going to write a great deal on. Collective will, not usurping of power and authority, has not been present upon this planet for a very, 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 very long time. And so it has mostly been hidden, bastardized or forgotten. So how it is being reactivated is through individual will, but as soon as you have two or more, think of what you have been told in other situations, two or more, you have collective will. So the issue is not so much just the activation of individual will, collective will, but how is that going to be directed? And you're beginning to see how that collective will can be not only reborn, re-anchored, but redirected. Now what has happened upon your planet, and there are those that would say, but there is a collective will, but the expressions of what people are thinking or in some situations feeling as collective will has in fact been a manipulation of what people have labeled will. And there is a massive difference. They are not even related. It is manipulating mental and emotional energy, hijacking it in many situations falsely by the use of language and crowd control. And you are seeing this very much in the American electoral system. That you are hijacking this collective emotionality or mental processing, and you are labeling it as will, the will of the people, and that is not true. That is where we have started this day. What is really truth? What is the truth is that there is such an animal, a situation, an element as collective will, but it has been hidden, dormant for a very long time. So as you are awakening individual will, you are also simultaneously building, rebuilding, reigniting collective will. Steve will have to talk about that more, I think. I have given you a great deal to chew on, have I not? Steve, you definitely have. How long a time has it been dormant for, Lord? I'm trying to figure out the timelines. Atlantean times? Lemurian? Or even before that? It has not been in full usage since the initial creator race. Now there have been glimmers of it, certainly during Lemuria it was very prevalent. In Atlantis it started as collective will being reignited and then transferred into abuse, and that is what of course led to the downfall. So there have been sparks of efforts that have arisen now and then, and that is why right now, most beings upon the planet, yes, you have come from far and wide, but most of you, not all of you, but most of you have had lifetimes as both Lemurians and Atlanteans, because somewhere in between is the balance in the reactivation of collective will and individual will for that matter. Steve, could you give me a definition of collective will, because I don't have any notion of what it actually is. I'm feeling into it. Think of collective will as very close to truth and love. It is the alignment of the collective, or most of the collective. It does not need to be 100%, and this is what you've been working on with Ascension. It is the alignment of what you think of as a human will with the higher or universal self, and that activation of will in alignment with divine will. When you are not in that alignment, think of it as capital W, although we do not want anything capitalized. When it is self-serving to the exclusion of what is for the betterment and highest good of all, then it is abuse of will and of authority. It is of control, and it is of a vibratory rate you do not want to engage in. When the will of many is in alignment with the desire to create, direct, bring forth, anchor, experience and live in what is for the highest good in the fulfillment of the individual and the collective, that is divine and human will. That is collective will. Steve, thank you. I will work with that for the next period, and then I'll probably have more questions and go deeper into the topic with you.